Hello guys, this is Dr. Ergin, and today we are going to talk about why my blood sugar is high in the morning. Stay tuned. Okay, so I get this question all the time. So in one of the videos that I said, typically the best blood sugars are in the morning, and some people said, oh no, my blood sugar goes up during the day, or my blood sugar goes down during the day, I'm sorry. So they say my blood sugar is actually higher in the morning than the later time of the day. Well, that is true for some people. Again, that depends on what is going on with your body. So I said this because most of the time people go on medications like metformin or Lantus or anything like that, and they end up with the blood sugar being okay in the morning because those medications work at night and they don't eat anything during the night, hopefully. But here's the thing. You know, when you start your day, you start eating, right? So typically you expect your blood sugar to go higher. Now, why blood sugars are high in the morning, sometimes higher than the night before? So again, that depends on what you're taking during the day. If you're taking, for example, like glipizide, that is commonly prescribed medication, not my favorite, but it's commonly prescribed, and that medication works for a while, and then it wears off, and then this medication makes your body make insulin, right? So glipizide produces insulin, and that helps with your meals and so forth, but then it wears off, and then at night, your body still needs insulin. So insulin is not just necessary for the food. Your body needs insulin anyways. So even if you're eating no carbs whatsoever, you still need insulin because your liver will make glucose. You have to have glucose in your system. So yes, you don't eat carbs, good for you. There's some keto people that they're crazy about it, which is fine. But even if they're trying to say sometimes that if you're on a keto diet, you have no diabetes. That's not true. A lot of people will still have diabetes even on a keto diet. In my practice, I have a lot of them. So I don't know. The people talk about their own experiences, but that doesn't reflect the rest of the population. So yes, keto diet, if you're going to keto, your diabetes will dramatically improve. If you can stay on it, great, stay on it. But you have to be medically supervised. I don't recommend anybody to watch a YouTube video and go on a keto diet. So we're going to make a big keto video with diabetes. Make sure that you watch that video. It's going to come up soon. What I'm trying to say here, even if you don't eat carbs, you have to make glucose in your body. And for that glucose to be transported to the cells, you still need insulin. Now, what happens is your liver is the biggest depot of sugar. So when you're not having carbs, your liver normally stores the carbs that you have eaten previously. And after 8 to 12 hours, that depot runs out. So normally liver gives the sugar to the body to make sure that sugar keeps going in the body. And then if there's no sugar, the liver makes just sugar. That's that you have to have certain blood sugar. Even if it is down to 80, that blood sugar has to be maintained, right? So, but like any other organ in the body, liver is insulin resistant, especially in type 2 diabetics. Now, in type 2 diabetes, your liver is insulin resistant, and the insulin is the hormone that tells liver how much sugar to make. So even if you have enough insulin, a lot of insulin, not enough, a lot of insulin in your body, sometimes doctors check insulin levels, which doesn't mean anything actually, because the amount of insulin doesn't necessarily tell you if the insulin is doing the job or not, or you have to really check the insulin resistance, not just the insulin. But anyways, so even if you have a lot of insulin in your body, that insulin may not be enough for your liver. Your liver may think that you need blood sugar. So insulin is like a brake on your liver that tells your liver, okay, we don't need much of glucose. I'm here, calm down. Now sometimes liver doesn't listen just because of the insulin resistance. So as a result, your liver keep making blood sugar at night. That's why you guys wake up with a high blood sugar in the morning. That is the answer. Now, how do you get rid of the blood sugar, high blood sugar in the morning? Let's talk about that. Okay, so there are a couple of ways you can do this. So number one, as we discussed, if the liver is insulin resistant, what should you do? you should basically reduce the insulin resistance, right? There are a couple of ways to do that. For example, a medication called metformin or pioglitazone, these are two relatively inexpensive medications, can do that. There are some herbal medications that can do that as well in a similar way. So, or you just basically make yourself insulin sensitive by exercising more. Try it. So go for a 2-mile walk if you're not walking at all. Go for a mile or two, like in the late afternoon when the weather is not hot. I'm from Florida, so it's always hot here, but that's why I always go later in the day. Or whenever is best for you, just go at a time that is comfortable. That exercise will have an effect for the next 24 hours. Isn't that amazing? So you just exercise some right now, and you can still see the benefit up to 24 hours. So your blood sugars will be lower. If that exercise is not enough, that means that you have to do more. But your sugars definitely will be better than the days that you don't exercise. If you see the difference, I think you'll be more willing to exercise. So if you don't have to exercise or exercise is not enough, then we sometimes have to use pharmaceutical or herbal medications, depending on your preference, to bring the blood sugar down. And that is to improve the insulin sensitivity in your liver. Now, of course, if you lose weight by doing some sort of diet, keto diet, or low carb diet, low fat diet, doesn't matter, just do a diet that is good for you, that you can manage. Some people love keto diet, some people hate keto diet, so it's not just one fits all. So, and I'm not a big supporter of any diet except the Mediterranean diet, because that diet has been studied multiple times, has been proven multiple times to reduce the heart attacks and strokes and to reduce the diabetes as well. Keto diet unfortunately doesn't have any studies, any long-term studies or short-term studies to prove that it reduced any heart attacks or anything like that. Yeah, it reduces your sugar, but reducing sugar is not everything. So we have to look at the health in a general fashion. Anybody that claims anything about any diet or medicine have to prove that it actually works in many different ways and so forth. So again, we will work with you guys to see what we can do. Again, you have to talk with your doctor, preferably an endocrinologist. And of course, after the discussion, you guys make an informed decision together, and if you need a medication, you go for it. Of course, you need to understand what you're taking, how you're taking, the side effects, and all that stuff. So don't jump on a medication unless you really know the side effects or the benefits, actually. Most people get hung up on the side effects. So here's what happens. People look on the internet, right? So they find the side effects that are seen 1 in 10,000. They say, oh, I don't want to take the medication. But the benefits are so high, they're just going for a blind eye for the benefits, and they just get hung up on the very minor risk sometimes. Again, diabetes is not just a science, guys. It is an art. So you have to choose your fight. So you want to do exercise and diet, you have time for it, go for it. We will support you. We will be watching you over. I promote always remote patient monitoring and remote patient management, because when I am remotely managing you and staying in touch with you, I'm always with you. That is not something you get from anybody. You normally go to a doctor, they give you a pill. Good luck. Good luck. Hope it works. It shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. So if you hear about the medication, if you hear about a side effect, you should be able to say, hey, doc, I heard about this. What do you think? Is it going to affect me? Or should I, what's my benefit? How much benefit do I have? How much risk do I have, right? So unfortunately, trust to doctors is going down, and people are skeptical, and people actually think that they can just do it themselves. It's not a garden work, okay? So unfortunately, medicine is not something that you can just figure it out, but it is important to get the right information from the right person, not just from healthline.com or webmd.com. Guys, I know who writes those articles. They're not real doctors. They're just a bunch of freelancers. They just pick up information from right and left website, put it together, and create a business. That's not where you should be getting your information from. But back to the topic, right? Sorry, got sidetracked. Your liver is responsible. We are not playing the blame game here. Yes, you can do dieting better. Yes, you can exercise better. Yes, we can support you. Yes, we can tell you how to do it if you want to hear how to do it. You know, some people are just very self-motivated and they don't need it, but we can definitely help you with that. But also, we can guide you through if you need a medication to convince your liver not to make so much sugar. Sometimes, you know, everything fails and we have to go on an insulin. Again, going on an insulin is not a life sentence. Don't look at that that way. A lot of people are extremely happy that they are on once a day insulin. They see their blood sugars immediately improve. Again, diet and exercise is not always helpful for everybody. So let your doctor decide. Do your best on your end. And if your blood sugars are not still coming down in the morning, you have to do something. You have to try the pills depending on the situation. Again, we are talking about type 2 diabetics. Type 1 diabetics, they always have to take insulin. They have to take insulin multiple times a day. That's a totally different story. And we are occasionally talking about type 1 diabetes management and the devices they use, etc. But what I'm talking today is about strictly about type 2 diabetes. So another problem with this high blood sugars we experience in the morning is sometimes it's just eating late or eating high-fat food. So what happens when you eat high-fat food? The absorption is so slow that your blood sugar may be 150 or 140 when you go to bed, but then that pizza that you ate can actually show up way later down the road, and then you may wake up with a very high blood sugar. So that is something you need to be aware of. Eating the dinner early on will definitely help. Taking maybe a walk after dinner definitely will help your morning blood sugars. And most importantly, night eating habits, unfortunately, is very common. People get cravings, and they end up getting up, they cannot sleep, and they end up eating something. Now, if you're going to eat something, you can try to really have something with a low glycemic index if you're going to eat a carb, like an apple. Half an apple, I think, will be able to curb your appetite. Or just stick with your mozzarella stick, whatever you want to go for, that is not high in carb or possibly no carb. Yogurt may not be a bad snack if you have to, if you are not going to be able to sleep without eating. But anytime you go eat some crackers or try to drink juice or have fruits that are high in carbs like melons and stuff, it will definitely increase your blood sugar drastically. So you have to be really careful about that. So the third problem that can actually really increase your blood sugar is if you are having a low blood sugar. So believe it or not, if you're having a low blood sugar in the middle of the night, which typically happens between midnight and 3 or 4 o'clock, your body will give a reaction, and that's called smoggy effect. You're going to have a spike in your blood sugar. So you're basically dipping down. That generally happens from taking too much basal insulin. You generally dip down, and then your body gives this stress reaction. You sometimes wake up and sometimes you don't, but then your blood sugar spikes right back up because your body makes a hormone called glucagon. When your blood sugar is going down, glucagon goes up. So adrenaline goes up. So you may be having a nightmare or something, I don't know, but you're going to have a lot of turmoil in your hormones when your blood sugar goes down. And then when that happens, you're going to wake up with a very high blood sugar. So when people come up or wake up with high blood sugars, we ask them to check their blood sugars at 3 o'clock in the morning. If their blood sugar is 3 o'clock in the morning, let's say is down to 60, and they wake up with 200, that I know I have to fix that 60 blood sugar before I think about 200, because I know the 200 is the result of 60. Okay, is that clear? Now, on the other hand, if that 3 o'clock blood sugar, let's say, is 180, and then you wake up with 220, yeah, I know that your blood sugar is steadily going up. That is if you don't have a Dexcom or Freestyle Libre. These are the tools that really helps a lot for the doctors and for the patient, because if you have a Dexcom or Libre, just look at it. If your blood sugar is dipping down at night, then you know why it's going back up. If your blood sugars are steadily going up, then that means that your liver is just making too much sugar, your liver is making, or you're eating something too late, or you missed your exercise, whatever the reason may be that drives your blood sugar up. You just have to be sometimes playing the detective work, as long as you know what really can be causing the high blood sugar. And if you identify what is causing the high blood sugar, then you can fix it. If it is your liver, if it is your insulin resistant, no matter what you do, you exercise and you eat right, you don't eat late, you don't eat after midnight, but your blood sugar is still going high in the morning without having a low at 3 o'clock in the morning, that means that you really need some sort of insulin sensitizer. And that will be metformin, pioglitazone, or some herbal medications, or sometimes the long-acting insulins. Again, long-acting insulins could be Lantus, could be Levemir, could be Toujeo, could be Tresiba, even could be Novolin N or Humulin N, depending on your situation, we choose the right medication. Of course, insurance covers may play a role. All these things we think about. Again, when I try to prescribe medication, of course, I'm trying to give you the best thing with the most benefit and the least side effects. Some people cannot afford their insulins. We help them to get their insulins free of charge by applying to the pharmaceutical companies. There are a lot of ways we can try to help people with their medication prices. Even if they have insurance sometimes or Medicare, we try to find ways to get the financial help for our patients. We cannot just tell them just don't eat anything. It just doesn't work that way, guys. So I hope that video is useful to you. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you can be a diabetes pro. And guys, I highly recommend for you to go to our website and go to sugarmds.com/diabetes-education, and you can select a category and you can basically read and learn as much as you want. That is a free resource for all of you. Please utilize it, share it, and let me know if you have any comments or questions.